Hey guys, thank you for watching the Slat Rock channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And if you've already done so, just make sure that it's still active. Here's your news for August 20, 2019. We're kicking off with some news from Monday Night Raw today. And though the Red Brand was in St. Paul, Minnesota last night, it wasn't a packed house by a long shot. In what has become a worrying trend for WWE, their XL Energy Center had several empty seats during the show, though the company tarped these off to give the illusion of a stacked arena to the fans watching at home. The company certainly had got quite good at hiding empty seats, as the crowd was positioned on the hard camera, making it look like the show was sold out. This isn't the first time, and probably won't be the last time WWE have used tarps to hide empty seats, but hopefully this will change in the near future. WWE clearly couldn't have been happy with the low attendance of Raw, and one superstar who was also frustrated was Sami Zayn. In the first round of the 2019 King of the Ring tournament, Zayn came up short against Cedric Alexander, who had to be restrained by security after being taunted by the crowd. While leaving after losing to the former Cruiserweight champion, the fans were really letting Zayn have it, and though security stopped him from leaping the barricade, the former NXT champion let his words do the talking. Targeting one fan in St. Paul, it sounded like Zayn said, "I'm gonna slap out of you," and though it was definitely a hard loss to take, the fans didn't exactly help matters for Zayn. Though this isn't the best look for Zayn or the company, this rant against a fan was entertaining, and WWE even uploaded the footage to their official social media for everyone to see. Speaking of fans, one member of the WWE Universe this week didn't get cussed out by Sami Zayn, but did end up fainting during the show. Fortunately for the fan, EMTs were quick to rush to their aid and provided the medical attention they clearly needed. Footage posted online shows the fan being let out of the building for their own safety, and though the company clearly wanted to make sure things were okay with them, the show had to go on. Even more news about fans from Raw, as though the WWE was able to deliver an exciting night of television, one fan tried to make things all about them. Even though the crowd was smaller than planned, those who did attend were loud, but one fan had to go and ruin things by trying to jump the barricade during the show. Fortunately, this fan didn't make it very far, as security quickly restrained him, tearing his shirt in the process. There were a lot of asshole chants, and rightly so, as jumping the barricade is something a fan should never do. Not only will jumping the barricade get you kicked out of the building, but this fan could also be charged for criminal trespassing for his actions, and when you factor in his ripped t-shirt, we have to wonder whether all of this was worth it just to be a few feet closer to the ring for just a few seconds. Well, I think we've looked at the fans enough for now, so we're going back to commenting on superstars, and there are few stars bigger than the Viper Randy Orton. On this week's Raw, the 13-time world champion delivered a brutal assault on the New Day with the help of the Revival, and according to reports, things went out of hand. According to WWE, Xavier Woods was rushed to a local medical facility following the attack, as it seems the war between Orton and the reigning WWE champion Kofi Kingston is far from over. This attack could also lead to a match between the Revival and Woods and Big E, who, as the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, are expected to defend their titles next month at Clash of Champions. Between Orton's assault, a fan jumping the barricade, and Sami Zayn using some not-so-PG language, this week's Monday Night Raw was hectic to say the least, and has left fans wondering just who was running the show behind the curtain. According to Ryan Satin, the person running things backstage wasn't Vince McMahon, as the chairman of the board wasn't at tonight's Raw at all, though Satin didn't give a reason why. Instead, it was the team of Triple H, Paul Heyman, and Kevin Dunn running the Red Brand, and it's good to see that the company have a plan in case the boss can't make a show. With the XFL gaining momentum ahead of its launch next year, it's likely that there will be other shows that McMahon won't be able to make, as it's possible that the chairman skipped this week's event in Minnesota because of the new football league. Though Paul Heyman has clearly settled in well in his new role as executive director of Monday Night Raw, the same can't be said for Eric Bischoff, who has the same role but on SmackDown Live. According to Brian Alvarez, who spoke on Wrestling Observer Live, Bischoff hasn't done anything creative since becoming the executive director of SmackDown Live over a month ago. Many are now speculating that Bischoff was brought on board as a liaison between WWE and Fox ahead of SmackDown's move to the new network this October. Given his past, it's clear that the former WCW magnate is good at dealing with networks, but it seems Bischoff's creative mind is going to waste, and we can't help but wonder just how long Eric will remain with WWE after SmackDown gets comfortable in its new home on Fox Sports 1. Speaking of people who may not be around for much longer, this week, former United States champion Kalisto put out a bizarre tweet where the masked superstar hinted at leaving the company as soon as he's able to. In the tweet, Kalisto said 10 months and used the hashtag #FreeAgent as the tweet came as a shock to many, but not his Lucha House Party member Gran Metalik, who responded by saying, "Me too, Carnal." Replying to both men, Braun Strowman, who recently signed a lengthy contract to remain as part of WWE, said #adios, though Kalisto quickly deleted his tweet. It's not clear whether the masked superstar was told to delete his tweet by someone in the company or if he did it of his own free will, as it looks like the former Cruiserweight champion doesn't want to remain in the company for much longer. With that said, this could all be a clever way to get some leverage on some upcoming contract negotiations, though if this is the case, Kalisto is playing a very risky game against his employers. Some good news now, as congratulations are in order for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who this week married his longtime girlfriend Lauren Hashian in Hawaii. The pair have been together for some time now and have 2 daughters, Jasmine, who's 3, and Tiana, who was born last year. As a former WWE champion, a leading man in Hollywood, and one of the most recognizable faces in the world, there's no shortage of people who would have wanted to put the ring on the people's finger. But now the most electrifying man in sports entertainment is officially off the market. Back to Raw now, and 1 week after her shocking return to the Red brand, Sasha Banks sat down with Michael Cole to explain her actions 7 days ago. On the August 12th edition of Monday Night Raw, Banks returned during a promo by the injured Natalya, and though she hugged the Canadian at first, revealed her true colors by attacking the third-generation superstar as well as Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch. Though Cole tried to press the boss for answers, Banks wasn't going to give him or the fans the satisfaction, instead talking about her new hair, which is now blue instead of purple. Later during Raw, Natalya tried to express her disappointment in Sasha's actions, but quickly found herself the victim of another beatdown by the boss, who told Natalya to "go to hell and tell your daddy I said hi," referring to Natalya's father Jim Neidhart, who died last year. This isn't the first time the company have used the Anvil's death as part of a storyline, though it isn't any better than when Ruby Riott brought up the deceased Hall of Famer last year. In her 11 years on the main roster, Natalya has shown herself to be the ultimate company woman, often helping train superstars that would go on to do better than her, as well as be involved in some not-so-entertaining stories. With that in mind, we can see why Natalya would agree to let her father's death be exploited like this, but hopefully Sasha won't bring up Jim Neidhart on next week's show. While Natalya clearly had a rough night, she wasn't the only one, as Rey Mysterio was seemingly close to retiring during this week's edition of the Red brand. During a backstage interview on Raw, Mysterio spoke about his recent losses to Andrade and also mentioned how his injuries have caught up with him over the years. The former world champion followed this up by attempting to remove his mask on TV, something Mysterio last did decades ago in WCW, but was stopped at the last minute by his son Dominic. The 21-year-old urged his dad to stay in WWE, and this may be the start of something much bigger according to rumors. Last week, it was reported that Dominic had begun training for a career in the ring, and though WWE doesn't feel he's ready now, they are hoping he will become a full-time superstar at some point next year. Last year, Rey trademarked the name Prince Mysterio, so this could be his son's name when he makes it in WWE. With several world championships, a Royal Rumble win, and the Grand Slam under his belt, it's clear that the Master of 619 has had a legendary career, and now it seems Rey wants to finish his tenure off by giving Andrade and his son a huge push. Speaking of legendary careers, there are few more epic than The Undertaker, who will appear on the September 10th episode of SmackDown Live, according to WWE. That show will air from the legendary Madison Square Garden and will mark the first edition of SmackDown from the world's most famous arena in nearly a decade. The last time WWE had a televised event inside MSG was Survivor Series 2011, which saw the in-ring return of The Rock, meaning the arena is steeped with WWE history. The last time The Phenom competed there was at a live event in 2018, where the Deadman worked with the Dream Team of Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman to defeat Baron Corbin, Elias, and Kevin Owens. As well as the Deadman, who last appeared on the Blue Brand this past June, the show will also see the semifinals of the King of the Ring tournament, meaning that this episode of the show will be must-see. While The Undertaker is gearing up for a huge return, one similar superstar who may be getting toned down is Bray Wyatt, who returned at SummerSlam to a huge ovation. Returning as The Fiend, Wyatt has become one of WWE's most popular acts, although advertisers may have an issue with some aspects of the demonic persona. Tom Colohue of Sportskeeda reports that some people within WWE feel the character needs to be toned down, as they worry about any possible backlash either from USA Network or Fox. As Colohue explained, they want a happy medium. This is something special, but it needs to be special without scaring half the audience away. Though Wyatt's return at the biggest party of the summer was epic to say the least, it's clear why some advertisers may have an issue with the character, who carried a lantern of his own severed head to the ring and finished off Finn Balor with a neck snap. If this report is true, fans should still be excited to see Wyatt, though he may not have the same mystique that he had when he returned at SummerSlam. Though last night's edition of Raw was explosive to say the least, the climax of the show saw Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins be crowned the new Raw Tag Team Champions. This was actually Strowman's second match of the night, as he had earlier tried to take the US title from AJ Styles, but instead was given a beatdown by the OC. When the Beast Slayer made the save, paying Strowman back for helping him last week, the Universal Champion pulled some strings to get the tag title match made. An exciting main event of the show, Rollins and Strowman were able to overcome the outside presence of AJ Styles, and it was the Monster Among Men who got the win with a running power slam on Anderson. Though the pair may now be tag team champions, fans can't help but wonder how long the team will last, as the Architect and the Monster Among Men are expected to face off at Clash of Champions for Seth's Universal title. And finally today we're looking at the King of the Ring tournament, as the road to the throne has officially started. On this week's show, Cedric Alexander was able to handily defeat Sami Zayn in less than 3 minutes, as it seems the former 24/7 champion may be a dark horse in this year's competition. Alexander will next face the winner of The Miz and Baron Corbin, which is set to take place next week. In another first-round match, Cesaro took on Samoa Joe in what was a hard-hitting match, which kicked off in a big way. Less than a second after the opening bell, the Swiss Superman leveled the Samoan with a running uppercut, though Joe was able to keep pace with Cesaro's speed. For every move Cesaro used, Joe had a counter, and though Cesaro was able to get the swing in, the former United States and NXT champion refused to quit. Instead, it was Joe who would get the victory, locking in his coquina clutch in the center of the ring to get the Swiss Cyborg to tap in what was a contender for Match of the Night. Next, Joe will face the winner of Ricochet and Drew McIntyre in the quarterfinals in what will be a difficult contest for either the High Flyer or the Sinister Scotsman. Will the WWE see the crowning of King Joseph I at Clash of Champions? Only time will tell. Well guys, that's our news for today. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to check out our previous video, 10 huge, shocking WWE 2019 rumors you need to know about. Also check out our other high-rated videos by clicking at the upper right-hand corner or down in the description field. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and the bell icon so you don't miss a single new video. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, thank you for watching.